Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Young Sheldon. This is a 12th episode of the second season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you like to watch today's full episode, it's available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put a password in, and enjoy. Last episode, interestingly, Sheldon tried to, well, he was trying to help Missy out, but he was trying to motivate her or give her kind of an ultimatum. He's basically like, look, mate, if you don't actually come and want to try and learn algebra, do you know what I mean? If you don't actually want to get taught by me, then I'm going to cut your doll's hair off. You know what I mean? I'm going to punish them, you know? And we've seen the kind of opposite effects in the Big Bang Theory where he actually rewarded Penny for doing things. He gave her chocolate subconsciously without her knowing, and it actually worked. You know, she was excited to do things every time he kind of instructed something, and she got reward for it. And the natural instinct is she was interested in what he was doing. And on this, you know, episode or the last one, it kind of worked as a negative. However, you know, another negative thing was Georgie. You know, he was trying to use his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ to get closer to Veronica. You remember the girl that you know, went to Mary in the haunted house and asked her to send, well, direct her towards the light. You know, she come knocking on his door for Bible studies, and you know, he's seen that as another opportunity to kind of, you know, mingle and get closer and see if he can work in like a, I don't know, like a relationship. She was just always interested in God and you know, helping people, and he was committed to it. You know, he was saying that he prayed to God and he said they should spend more time together. He was going to help out people, you know what I mean? He was willing to get baptized. She got baptized first, and then when he got baptized, you know, he seen her all wet and he was like, oh my God, I love you. And he went in, he gave her a kiss, and she gave him a clock and gave him a, you know, a black eye. And you know, as a negative for him, he used the Lord's name in a negative way. However, he got the outcome that he wanted for Georgia. You know, a kiss is a kiss, and it's a big fat win for him, isn't it? You know, and his mum wasn't happy as well. However, his dad kind of understood the lengths that, you know, young boys go to. For example, when they think that they got a small little chance with a female. Literally, it's like a dog wagging its tail. Do you know what I mean? Like he's just running around, he's just following constantly. But he got his end, you know, result, and I suppose he's happy with that. It was quite a fun episode, and we ended it with Sheldon getting a black eye from Missy, and obviously Georgie, as I just mentioned, getting a black eye from Veronica. So two brothers sat down. It was a pretty good visual. Thanks for checking out today's episode, though. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Anyone tell me why Melville shifts the narrative voice from Ishmael to Ahab? Sheldon.
I have a tummy ache. I'd like to see the nurse. Shifting point of view grants the reader a broader perspective of events than typically allowed by first-person narration. Hello, Nora.
Hey, there's my favorite
Is that
patient.
Meredith?
What hurts today?
Tummy troubles.
Oh, no. Sorry to hear it. Let me grab your file.
Nurse Nora and I had been through quite a few close calls.
This is just a blister. Looks like you bit your cheek
How do you know it's not scurvy?
because you're not a pirate. But since you're at a 3.47, I'm going to give you the strongest medication I'm allowed to give you.
Cherry.
What did she just give him?
Sheldon back in the nurse's office? Yeah. Let me guess. Yellow fever. Cholera. Oh, I was gonna say cholera.
Sheldon, you okay?
You're gonna be fine. One good dump and you'll feel right as rain.
Please don't call it that.
What, dump?
Yes.
Why don't you dote on me like that?
Because he's my baby. How you feeling, baby?
Remember the tuna sandwich I had at the bus station?
Yeah.
Worse than that.
How come when I'm sick it's no big deal, but when Sheldon gets sick, you act like it's the end of the world?
Because he's a fragile little boy, and you're getting to be a big, strong man.
Do you reckon he's changed colour? He's white.
We need a doctor here. In that moment, I was in too much pain to tell my father I told you so. But for years after, I reminded him constantly.
Oh, poor little guy. All right. Well, if there's anything you need, let me know. It's gonna be fine, but he has to have his gallbladder removed.
How's he gonna pee?
Not that bladder, his gallbladder.
He's always complaining about some health issue. It's usually nothing.
I know, George.
Once you're under, we'll make a little incision and snatch that guy right out of there.
What kind of doctor says snatch that guy right out of there? Did you at least graduate with honors?
Top of my class.
Relax. Start counting backwards from 100.
Wait, Gary, where did you study anesthesia?
Your brother's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, I know.
Y'all can exhale. Surgery went great.
Thank you, Jesus.
Sheldon's gonna need to stay here 3-4 days, which is standard. But after that, he's good to go home.
Is she from the Big Bang Theory?
Hey, buddy, how you feeling? I brought you some comic books.
Can I go home now?
No, baby. They need to keep you here a little while, make sure you're okay.
You got your own room here, your own TV.
Is no one listening to me? I want to go home.
No surprise, despite my adamant protest, I didn't go home.
What's this? I asked for red.
All they had was green.
Well, then you and I have a problem, don't we? I see Pope.
No, you don't. I straightened it with a paper towel.
Now all I can taste is towel.
Do you know what, right? Well, before we go into any deeper, have you ever been in a surgery before? Like, I've literally never had a surgery. I've never had to stay in a hospital overnight, touch wood. It's never going to have to happen. You know, I've never even been under anaesthesia. Is that what it's called? Where you, like, he just done there, like, knocked him out after counting down 5 numbers. I'd love to know what it feels like, because people, like, have you ever seen people that have a procedure and they come from the dentist and they're all like, all daisy, and they're all talking mad stuff, and I think it's pretty funny. But yeah, I've never had it. But what Sheldon needs to realise, or I can't even remember if he even realised it into adulthood, is that sometimes you don't have to say what you think, because you say what you think, you piss people off, and doing that to people then makes people not be nice to you or not want to be around you. And you know what I'm saying? So say, like, you know, people are coming in and they're trying to give you food and they're trying to, you know, help you out and they're trying to make you happy. And even if that you didn't want it, you don't disrespect, you don't hurt them, you don't tell them to go away. You know what I mean? You don't just get on people's general nerves, because when you do want something, they don't want to come. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't think he ever actually learned that. And that is a big thing in life, you know, like, don't have to say what you think. Somebody could do something and you don't like it, but you don't have to tell them, you don't have to upset them, because next time they're not going to come. They're not going to help you. They just can't be asked, you know what I'm saying? Because you're just like, well, this is a guy that's not grateful. He's not bothered. You know, I'm just going to get badgered and hounded and annoyed. You know, I'm just leave him. Just do what he wants. If he does it, if he wants something, do it himself. Do you know what I'm saying? And people need to realise that, because there's a time and a situation to say everything. And if someone's doing something for you, if it's not to your liking, if someone does it wrong, then, you know, maybe you can say something. But, like, if it's not to your general liking, you don't have to say anything that hurts the feelings, because it just won't ever come and help you again.
Again.
See what I mean?
Can you take it?
Do I have to? He asked me if all the jobs for men were taken.
What's going on?
This is Ricky, your new roommate. I am so sorry. Said you going home tomorrow.
They also said I'd have my own room. He better not be contagious.
I done put up with your nonsense long enough, and it ends now. That boy is your roommate? That's the situation, and you gonna make the best of it. You get my drift?
This has been a nice break.
Hey, don't talk about your brother like that.
Since when are you on his side?
Excuse me? Seriously, dude, you need to relax. My mom says everyone is born with a Jesus-shaped hole in their heart, but I'm guessing this is different.
Yeah, they're gonna put a patch on it.
And then it just stays there forever?
Yeah.
You want some help?
Yeah.
Georgie, get your ass in here!
What are you gonna do when you get home? Enjoy a bathroom I can relax in. Although I do like that there's a big red emergency button in there. My Mimo takes care of us sometimes too.
I'm excited for my heart to be fixed, 'cause then she won't have to worry about me anymore.
Where'd he go? Where's Ricky?
He's in surgery.
Excuse me, Nurse Robinson?
Yes.
Will you give this Iron Man comic to Ricky?
I'll see that he gets it.
And thank you for taking care of me.
You're welcome. You stay healthy.
I will.
Just got off the phone with that nurse from the hospital. Your little roommate's gonna be just fine.
Oh, good. That's a relief.
Would you like to go visit him?
No. Why? Ow. Thanks, Dad.
For the next few weeks, my guilt-ridden father continued to lavish me with gifts.
it's the presence, it's the absence. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you don't have to be around somebody and have conversations. It's the knowing that they're there in the situation, that you're around them. It's the aroma. It's just the comfort of the person being there. That's what she missed. You know what I mean? Like, when she's going to bed, she probably doesn't miss Sheldon waffling. She probably just misses him being in the same room and knowing that, like, that feels normal. It feels right. You know, how many times have you gone on vacation or you've been in somebody else's house and, you know, you may be staying the night and you feel like this doesn't feel like home? Do you know what I mean? Or you bought a new house and you've moved from one to another and you go in and you're like, this don't feel like mine. This is not my normal. And then you walk into your own bedroom, even if it's smaller, even if it's shitter, do you know what I mean? Like, it's yours, and you go in and you're like, oh yeah, this feels right. This feels like mine. This feels like home. And she's probably got that feeling herself when she's in that bedroom, when he's not around, when he's not talking, when he's not, you know, just being Sheldon in her presence, even if she doesn't like it, you know, that doesn't feel normal to her. So it's uncomfortable, and that's what she missed. You know, she might not miss him talking and the situations and that he's in, but it's the normality and what feels right kind of presence that she's missing, I believe, anyway. However, this is probably the first time we've seen him complain and be grumpy and moany and, you know, say he's sick, and it actually has come true that he actually had justification to do that, because he actually had to go and have an operation, didn't he? So, you know, good that he got the all clear. And I thought it was going to be, you know, his mate next to him in the hospital bed. I thought that was going to take a turn for a worse, to be honest, but it's good that they got the all clear as well. And when he asked if, do you want to go and see him? Nope, why do I want to do that? Never want to go back to that, you know, walking death, you know, building again. He hates germs, doesn't he? So back to same old Sheldon as soon as he returns home. Okay, that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, Sheldon in hospital, going under. You know, he's already quizzing the doctor whether he's got enough qualifications, grades, if he's educated enough to be able to do this procedure. Do you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, get him under. Just get him under. You know what I mean? At least it went well for him and he only had a couple of days recovery. The interesting thing is, like, how much would that cost? You know, in the UK, luckily for us, obviously, because we get the deductions out of our wages, we pay the NHS, you know, that procedure would be free. However, obviously in the United States, unless you got private healthcare, you'd have to pay, and I'm sure that would be absolutely thousands, wouldn't it? I'd love to know really how much a procedure like that would cost, and, you know, the stay for the days that he'd be in there. It's a hefty amount, I'm pretty sure it is, but it's lucky for him that his dad was showering him with gifts, you know, because well, not that he didn't really pay attention to him, but, like, he wasn't as concerned, you know, listening to him, you know, because it's kind of like the boy cried wolf. I say it all the time, but, like, if you say stuff all the time, this, and this, and this, and nothing really actually ever happens, you know, like, then when something actually does happen, you're not going to believe it. That story's true. Do you know what I mean? Like, it rings time. You know, the guys on the hill crying out, the wolves are coming, all the village run up, no wolves. Does it again, all the village come up, no wolves. The time that he is getting attacked, you know, and all the wolves do come to get him, you know, the villagers don't come, because the boy cried wolf, you know, they're not going to believe him. He's so many false claims beforehand that, like, this time when something's serious, nobody takes it serious. And, you know, then obviously when it did become serious, he had to have his operation, his dad was guilt, and he's coming in and he's giving him and showering him with gifts. Now, again, you know, the other siblings, even though he's been in an operation, I'd be jealous. If I was a kid and my sister, you know, had an operation or whatnot, and she come back from the hospital and consistently she was getting gifts off my parents, I'd be gutted, mate. I'd be proper wounded. I'd be well jealous, you know what I mean? I'd understand that she's obviously had an operation, but I'd still be like, where's my stuff? Why can't I have it? Why is she getting all them things? You know what I mean? It's interesting. However, another good episode. Thanks for checking it out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.